Welcome to another episode of the Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast. We're recording here on Super Bowl Sunday, February 7th in the morning here. Tyler, you're back. Casey, you're here looking like touched by an angel with that glowing background there. Good to see you guys. What's going on? How we doing? T, how are you?
I'm well rested, ready to go. Big Super Bowl Sunday.
Me and
After
Casey
the
gave
beating, I took quite a beating with 12 rounds.
You weren't here last week. Me and Casey took quite a lot of shots at you. But we knew you could take it. That was the key. We knew you're tough-skinned, unlike me. So there you go.
I guess the superstars get the DMPs every once in a while.
I got to give Kawhi the rest once in a while. Case, what's going on, man?
No, just ready for Super Bowl Sunday, man.
Let's do it.
Should be a good one today, boys.
Oh, it should be a good game. Yeah, I was thinking back to last year's Super Bowl. Obviously, we had the Chiefs and the Niners back at it last year. Tyler, I know you were. That one hurts.
I don't think this was on the agenda. I don't remember this.
It was on the outline. We're gonna bring this up to start with. But I was thinking back to last Super Bowl because I remember Derek had his surgery for his feet. Remember, for his Achilles, both Achilles, and I couldn't go because I was so sick. I mean, I've never been sicker in my life. Like I still feel like to this day.
You called in sick for the Super Bowl. That's messed
Oh my gosh, I only could watch like the third quarter. I remember because I was so sick. Like I felt like I had like COVID. That's what I felt like. Because remember in February how kind of people were like, I wonder if I had it because before it came out. Well, I felt I did for sure. So I don't know. Maybe I did for all I know back then in February a year ago. But we flash forward a year later, and we got one team that's in the same Super Bowl again. The Niners, unfortunately, Tyler, are not back in it. So we got the Chiefs versus the Bucs. Should be a good game. We got Baby Goat. That's what everybody's. What are they doing? That's Baby Goat versus the real goat right now. That's kind of seems to be the theme. Chiefs are. I think it's still 3-point favorite, right?
3.5 or 3.
3.5 now. Before we get into our predictions, Tyler, let's I kind of want you to start off with the Chiefs a little bit. You kind of been on them a little bit more this year. Casey's obviously been on the Bucs from the get-go. So
you've been the real Chief D writer.
Me?
Yeah, and Mahomes.
Yeah, I just think he should be the MVP, yes, for sure. But
why don't you give us love to Mahomes and the Chiefs since like last year?
Well, what's he have? Like 2 losses? He has like 3 losses.
We love Mahomes.
Give me the Chiefs aspect here. What do you think the Chiefs need to do to repeat here? The Bucs do bring pretty good pressure with 4. He is coming off that. Mahomes is coming off the concussion that can kind of change things maybe a little bit. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think from the Chiefs side?
Mahomes is going to tear him apart. I just say it's going to be a high-scoring game if the Bucs are in it. Even I don't expect this to be that great of a game. Just Tyreek Hill torched this team for like a record day last time they played them, and their secondary hasn't been good all year. So
when's the last time they played him though? Last year,
like week 10, he went for 296, and week 11.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, he had like 250 yards in the first quarter almost.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, so they're too fast, and I don't know, they're just unstoppable with Kelsey in the middle and Hill and Hardman, and then Andy Reid's play calling is top notch.
Case, why don't you butt in there with maybe the Bucs side of things before I go. I'll be the third person here. So why don't you kind of go from the Bucs side, maybe counter that what Tyler's saying for the Chiefs there.
Yeah, I mean, I completely disagree. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it will be high scoring, but I don't think it's going to be 40s, and I think it'll be in the 30s, somewhere around there, 33-27. I just think I think whoever gets the ball last probably is going to win this game. I think the front four of the Bucs is pretty dominant if they can get after them, especially if they did what they did to Rodgers the week before, or a couple weeks now, I guess. Then, I mean, you're going to make adjustments. I mean, if Tyreek goes for 200 again, then yeah, that's just poor game planning, and obviously skill goes with it. And concussion for Mahomes has nothing to do with it. He played the game last time, and then he's had 2 more weeks to rest, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. But
Remember
I
how
think
Case
Tom Brady's just. I think this will cement his legacy here. I mean, he's been in 18% of the Super Bowls.
He's been in like 16 years of an championship football game.
If you're like his teammate, you automatically know you're going to be playing in the Final
A
Four.
full
It's not a
decade of
chance.
Super Bowl. I mean,
Come
I
on.
would bet against Tom Brady, but I would in this instance.
So let's get to the predictions then. So T, sounds like you obviously. I just have a hard time thinking that the Chiefs are going to be able to like repeat kind of like what Casey said, the same sort of dominance. Or I mean, it's hard to imagine just the Chiefs or the Bucs being so naive to that again. Except for, like you said, the Chiefs do have like two of the most unstoppable players at their positions. They have, actually three if you include Mahomes at quarterback. Obviously, I was thinking Hill and Kelsey at the receiver spots. But the Bucs have been impressing me with that front forward pass rush they've been able to get a little bit, and that's the one way you could probably offset Mahomes a little bit is by keeping 7 back and able to rush with 4. So, and that's what the Niners were able to do for a little bit last year in the Super Bowl. Until like that miracle play, basically.
3rd and 18 or whatever.
3rd and 18.
And
so
fair catch to Tyreek Hill.
Fair catch. It was basically a fair catch. So I kind of I'm going with the Bucs. I took the over a couple weeks ago at 54.5. So I think it's going to be kind of a decent score too. So I'm going to take the Bucs.
I feel like it's always me versus you two in all these.
It does seem like that.
Every time. It's crazy.
I think I'm going to go against you, Tyler, in this one as well.
I can't believe too that
the Bucs to win it
against his beloved Chiefs. I'm shocked.
Me too. I thought I was going to have Darren's side for sure.
It was beloved Mahomes, not the Chiefs. Let's get that straight here. Beloved Mahomes.
At first, I thought that pennant you had was Chiefs, but it's Niners on the top left. I thought
it's a very beautiful pennant. I'm a little jealous of it.
And it's a Joe Theismann helmet there. It's a single. We're looking at the single bar right there. You see my finger?
No,
right there.
It's too high. That's the Niners.
Yeah,
I know. I thought you said Joe Namath.
Yeah,
helmet. Okay,
or Joe Theismann. I should have said Joe Theismann. So give me just a quick score. I'm gonna go 34-31 Bucs.
41-17 Chiefs.
What a snooze fest. Case?
Yeah, I already gave mine 33-27.
33-27. All right, so Case, the Bucs will win by 6. I like that. Tyler's got a blowout. So that's the Super Bowl this week. Fired up for it a little bit.
Hopefully you got a lot of food coming your way for this game. Better be able
that's a lot of score. I don't see some big plays, hopefully.
Anything else about the Super Bowl you guys wanted to point out? Anything you're looking anything in particular before we get to the dump and run segment? Anything else about the game or anything else?
Who's the halftime show this year?
I remember it not being somebody I really knew at all.
Is it the Who again?
I think that is who it is, right?
No, it can't be that.
Oh, you see that? Who it is?
Is this year? I do have a question. Who's announcing the game this year?
The game is on. Is it CBS? I think it's on CBS this year.
That's what I was asking.
I thought it was on CBS last year.
Yeah, you're right. It was on CBS last year. I don't know what it's on. Oh, it's on Fox. I'm pretty sure it's on Fox this year.
Joe and Chuck.
I'm pretty sure Joe gets the honor this year.
I think someone should go hunting for a buck. Don't do that, really. I'm joking.
No, it's on CBS.
Okay.
It's on CBS. So we get Romo and Nance. That's a lot better than the Fox show. I think we agree on that one. So
one of the goats.
All right, so that's the Super Bowl kind of preview here. Tyler, you like the Bucs? I like the.
I don't like the Bucs.
You like the Chiefs. I like the Bucs. The reason being, you just feel like the Bucs won't be able to stop them. I feel like, in case he feels like the trend will kind of be reversed a little bit there. All right, Super Bowl, kind of like I feel like now with the Super. Go ahead.
I feel like Matthew's gonna have a pick 6. I get those feelings.
Man,
Tyrone.
Yep.
Tyrone.
Brady doesn't throw interceptions.
Oh, he does.
He got them all out last week.
Not when we're picking him. That's when he doesn't throw interceptions. We're picking him this week. All right, Case, we got the game. All right, let's do our last dump and run segment of the year. All right, last football game of the year. I think we haven't done it for I don't know, like a couple weeks here, more than a couple weeks. So let's bring it back. I feel like the Super Bowl now, and you guys would agree, is almost like a holiday, except for we don't get Monday off. But it's kind of turned into it. I feel like everybody, before this year, obviously with COVID, everybody gets together, makes a big deal. The Super Bowl parties, all this special food comes out and stuff like that. So with that being said, I got some questions around that and some favorite kind of plays and games we got here. So first one, what's a favorite game of yours in the Super Bowl that sticks out for any reason? Is there a game that you can go back and say that, I enjoyed that game for that reason in the Super Bowl? Tyler?
Well, I used to watch the Bengals versus Niners with the Taylor touchdown to win it back in the day, on tape, it was recorded. That one always was my favorite game until I started to get to watch some good ones, because in the beginning they were all blowouts. Probably the Titans and Rams Super Bowl.
That was the first one.
But yeah, that was the start of the string of great ones. So that one just was.
Do you have one?
Do you have
one that one, the Niners one or the Titans Rams one, kind of more so?
Probably the Titans Rams, because I saw it live.
Yeah, no, that was a great game. They had on Twitter. I love that once in a while they'll show those highlights of a game again or something like that. And
yeah,
they'll kind of do quick things. Man, you kind of forget about Eddie George and just some of the runs he would have, and man, he was strong. Case, what's your? Yeah, he was. Case, favorite game or something like that you remember from Super Bowl?
I think one of the more underrated ones that doesn't get talked about a lot, but was actually probably one of the tops, was Pittsburgh versus Arizona.
Yeah, definitely.
That was an amazing game.
Yeah, there was just so many big plays like that one. I just remember the James Harrison interception.
Oh my gosh, what a killer!
And a half.
Killer.
And then Fitzgerald getting the go-ahead touchdown pass, and then Ben Roethlisberger coming back and throwing that ball in the corner of the end zone to
Antonio.
Yeah,
that's a low-key great play, huh?
That was one of the best plays in Super Bowl history.
That
throw is unreal, and the catch to keep both feet in, if he did.
Was that Santonio Holmes?
That's amazing. Yeah, it was Santonio.
Yeah, that was obviously I was rooting for the Cardinals that game. That was a heartbreaker. And that was when Fitzgerald was just on fire. I mean, he was just, it was just the
greatest postseason ever.
He was just on another level that year. Because I remember I'm thinking when he runs that ball in, I'm thinking, oh, he's just going to go down as the best. Right? Yeah, you're thinking that way. He's just on fire. That's a good choice there, Case. That was what I was going to go with too, with Steelers Cardinals. That was kind of the one that stood out to me the most. I also kind of like the Patriots Panthers one. That was also a game I also kind of threw in there as well.
Well, the tale of two halves.
Yeah, it was not, but just the way that Del Homeboy, he was always good at these little he's kind of like how I would compare him to Fitzpatrick now. He was just a gunslinger, but he could get red hot sometimes, and he had good receivers, and Muhammad was at his peak there, and Smith was at his peak there. So that was a fun game as well. Unfortunately, Adams Patriots pulled that off there.
And their running backs were unreal too. It was Jonathan Stewart and what was the other dude? D'Angelo.
No, Stephen Davis. The guy from UCLA, number 26. He has a dope jumping in the touchdown.
Yeah, Foster.
Yeah, he went to UCLA. I don't know.
I think it was De'Aaron Foster or something.
Something like that. Something like that. Stephen Davis was their bruiser.
Yeah, and you're right. That second half was where it turned a little.
It was 3-0 at halftime. I was like, "This game sucks." Wow, right. What a second half!
It turned up the heat a little bit. All right, let's get to some other ones here. We'll go through this one. This one we got favorite play. Is there one play where you're just for me, it's got to be the stick catch where Manning just throws the Hail Mary and it basically just Velcros that guy's helmet. That's just a play that. What was Eli. The guy? Eli Manning.
David Tyree.
David Tyree, thank you. He just throws it up there. It sticks to his helmet. That was a game-changing play forever in Super Bowl history because that team was undefeated as well, the Patriots. So that's the play for me.
No, you want to go for it, T?
I mean, just based on tapes, Marcus Allen's run is pretty sick.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But yeah, I'd probably be Roethlisberger to Santonio Holmes, just
game winner
time. Yeah, and just yeah,
that's a good one. In case you got to play.
For me, it's kind of one of the first Super Bowls I actually remember watching. I remember bits and pieces because I was so young, but I just remember Desmond Howard returning punt against was that the Patriots? I think it was.
Yeah, it was the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think it was a kickoff though.
Yeah. But he was just unreal because I think he won Super Bowl MVP.
He did.
So, but yeah, no, I don't know. Just watching him return kicks, I was like, I always wanted to do that when I was like a kid. And then, like, when you see it done, like, he was so good. He was like Devin Hester before or after.
Yeah. In that year in particular, he was kind of on fire too. And then he kept it going in the Super Bowl there. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good plays in the Super Bowl. So I was curious to see which one stood out the most to you guys over there. If you got one that you like, leave a comment as well on our Twitter page. All right. This is kind of a different one. Favorite halftime memory, or maybe something other random about a game that maybe you're just not thinking of. Like last week, Casey, maybe me and you kind of a little bit more of a challenge because we already kind of said maybe ours. Yours was the Janet Jackson nipple, and mine was Boomer Esiason announcing the Rams' wife has 7 husbands. So.
What happened? I don't know about that one.
I'll tell the story.
Oh, you're not even watching our own podcast just because you're not on it?
We ripped it.
Oh, I saw the ripping and turned it off. I've had enough of this.
All right, so my favorite memory was the Rams owner when they won that Super Bowl. You were talking about the Titans. Boomer Esiason and Al Michaels were doing the game, and the lady's husband had died that was on the team, and he in the ring, and they do the little ceremony 15 minutes later, and he's like, "Oh, there she is. She took over the team after her 7th husband passed away." And I just remember my Uncle Hobie being like, "Did he just say 7th husband?" He's like, and he didn't really care that much about football, so I thought it was hilarious. So that was mine. Tyler, what's one you have? Like maybe just like a halftime or other random memory about a Super Bowl?
I just how bad Neil O'Donnell was in that Cowboys game. Just like that throw to Willie Brown. Or what was the guy's name in the later side?
Willie Brown.
Something Brown.
Oh,
Fran Tarkenton.
No,
what was that guy's name though? He was terrible.
I know you're his last name started with a Y too.
In that Dion commercial when he just says both and answers every question with both, like baseball or that commercial always stood out to me. Both.
Yeah, those are cool. Case, did you have something else you wanted to mention there? You get with the Janet Jackson one.
We'll just go with Janet Jackson again.
That was a winner on that one. We're all win on that one. So all right. So let me go with. Now, this is always a key ingredient with the Super Bowl is it seems to be the food, right? The food's important, and especially at our house case when we did the food, we always went over to Aunt Sheila's house most of the time if it wasn't Nana and Papa's house before that. And for me, the favorite food, without a doubt, that I associate with Super Bowl is Uncle Hobie's bread bowls, Aunt Sheila's bread bowls with that homemade clam chowder. So you give me that all day on a Super Bowl, I'm taking that. I mean, you're talking me a homemade clam chowder and those bread rolls. That's my favorite halftime food, without a doubt. Tyler, Case, what's yours?
I never got like real food like that. It was always like hors d'oeuvres and like.
Oh, well, what's your hors d'oeuvre then?
Mine would be like these mini meatballs my mom makes that she puts in this like marinara barbecue mixture sauce.
That sounds
very
delicious.
Good.
That sounds damn good.
Made by Tyson or
no. Homemade. How dare you do that?
I'm just kidding, Connie. I'm just kidding.
Not everybody cooks DiGiorno like you, buddy.
There's an art to it.
There's an art to it, yeah. You got to put that thing 14 minutes and rotate it every 4. Case, you got a favorite food besides DiGiorno you like?
I love there's 2. The 7-layer bean dip. I was just killer with some
7-layer bean dip.
So good. It's so good.
And dangerous because you could eat the whole damn thing.
Oh, yeah. Easy. And then probably I love wings, and buffalo wings, chicken wings, any type of thing like that.
Can't go wrong with wings.
No, it's funny.
The only vegetable I'll even touch is carrots with ranch. Don't even bother putting out vegetables if there's no ranch.
The best is the broccoli, like raw broccoli with a little ranch.
If there's no ranch, don't even bother putting it out.
I must be the only one here that hates ranch.
I don't hate it. I don't love it like that, but
Oh man,
I don't put
I'm
it
not
on
a
my
big fan.
pizza or anything.
You're not the Mary's pizza
Well, I do
dipper.
sometimes. Not Mary.
Tyler's like, no comment. We can't talk about that. Yeah. All right. So that's some of the favorite foods there. Is there a commercial, Tyler? You said the one Bo commercial. That's the one that
No,
stood
not
out to you.
Bo. It was Dion.
Dion commercial there. Any other commercial you guys like that stood out?
I used to love the Bud Bowls back in the. Like I said, I would watch the VHSs of the old nighter. They'd have like Bud Light versus Budweiser, like little animated like game going on, and like before. I was like,
those were
cool.
good. I forgot about those. Those were good. Doritos had some good ones there for a little bit.
Oh yeah, they did. What was that girl's name? She was fine.
Yeah, I forget her name, but yes.
Maria Menudos, or was it someone else? It was some like Latina.
Yeah, so, yeah, Doritos had some good ones. I always like, for some reason, the nostalgic of the Budweiser ones with the horses and the dogs.
The Clydesdales.
Remember they were playing football.
They tug on your heartstrings.
But remember the one where they kick a field goal? The guys like the dogs are holding up the. So I like that one a little bit too. Case, you got one you like or remember?
I like the one they actually had last year, I believe, with the MC Hammer music, where he has the Cheeto fingers and he's like, "Can't touch this."
Oh,
all the responsibilities of like moving like furniture, then holding the baby, and be like, "Can't touch this."
Can't touch this. Yeah. I forgot about that's pretty good. I forgot about that. Man, he's still making money off that little line there. That's pretty good. Credit to him for that, man. Yeah, seriously, you know what I mean? If you can make money 30 years doing that, what's better than that? All right, so those are some of the other Super Bowl things. Anything else you guys got football-wise you wanted to bring up? Last week of football, obviously. It's been kind of fun doing our first the podcast, right? We talked about that when we first started this thing, was like the football element every week kind of part of it. We thought that'd be fun. And that was, it kind of kept us doing it on Sunday mornings a little bit and previewing it. So I don't know about you guys, but it was kind of different this year, obviously, than all the other years, knowing that I was going to do this with you guys and to have to kind of, stay up on it a little bit more. I made the playoffs this year in fantasy football after like 3 straight years of finishing dead last. So that probably helped a little bit as well. That probably helped a little bit as well. So I don't know. What did you guys think about doing the football this year with the podcast? Anything stand out to you, or anything else the NFL season that stood out to you, Tyler?
Good job NFL getting through 17 weeks. It was difficult at times, but I'll never forget this year. It's like
the COVID year.
Yeah.
The COVID year.
Started the podcast, COVID, and we'll see what happens in this Super Bowl.
Yep. Case, last thoughts?
Just been a crazy year, it's just nuts. So many players, different games being affected by the COVID, and just the way they've gone about it. I predicted they wouldn't make it through 4 weeks, but they've definitely proven me wrong. Exclamation point on wrong on that. But, I am a little offended, though, that we didn't get any passes for this Super Bowl since our podcast has been doing so well. So,
I know, come on. We got to be
slap in the face.
That should be our goal next year. Can we get big enough to where the Super Bowl says, "Oh, we need those 3 idiots there. We need those rec league all-stars there. Give me their insight." No, that's no fun. We need them. We need them now. We need them on the 50-yard line now. All right. Well, that's the NFL last segment of the year. Next week, maybe we'll start moving into. We'll talk about obviously the Super Bowl results. I know Adam and Brian would like to come on maybe as our first kind of guest here to talk. Maybe we could get in some trash talking about the Patriots and the Niners and that Deshaun Watson situation. And man, Brian, to his credit, I give him respect. The man loves his football and he knows what he's talking about in that regard. So I think he would be fun if we could get him on here once in a while.
Yeah, I looked at a mock draft. They had that Zach Wilson going number 2 overall. I was like, this can't be right. This is a problem.
Brian's Brian's a true American. He loves football and he loves potatoes.
I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that. So that was good. All right, we'll be back with the NBA segment here. All right, we're back with the Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast, NBA part of the show right now. Guys, let's get right into the Warriors. They end up winning ended up losing yesterday, 134-132 to the Mavericks. Both the Warriors obviously right now are playing small without the big, so they're really trying to play basically Nelly ball in a sense. They're really pushing the pace a ton right now, shooting threes. Maybe we'll get into the Mavericks defense a little bit later, but man, I was totally wrong about them. I mean, they are just awful defensively, as good as they are offensively at times with Doncic and Porzingis. Man, what a joke they are defensively. I mean, 147 the other night that's pretty bad. But let's not waste too much time on them to start this baby out. I didn't watch the game last night. I did see the stats though, and Curry obviously was 57. I can't wait to rewatch the game after our podcast here. But 11 threes. Break it down for me a little bit, guys. Let me know. He's special right now. Curry says he's playing better than he ever has before. That was his quotes this morning from what I read. Would you agree with that? What'd you take from last night? Just general thoughts of the Warriors, this week and how they're moving forward. Kind of was as Brian calls it, our Warriors chalk talk for the week. Go ahead, Case. What do you got?
Man, it was unreal, dude. It was just it was crazy. It was like watching the old Curry, but the young Curry. I don't know however you want to make sense of that, but it was just he was on a different planet than everyone else yesterday until Doncic started to show up. But man, when he gets hot, it's like it's different than Clay hot. It's like, man, it's one of the funnest things to watch. I'm so envious of people that had Warriors season tickets and got to see this guy play for the last 5, 6, 7 years.
No doubt.
Curry's even said this year that he feels like he's in his prime right now, which is kind of weird because usually it's 28 to 32. But he's still got a lot left in the tank. He plays a lot differently than most superstars do. His game's more predicated on skill than it is more athletic ability. So I think that's going to help him in the long run. But just speaking of yesterday, though, seeing him and Doncic go back and forth, I was like, all right, this is when superstars are they're feeding off each other. And I mean, Curry had 6 threes at the half and then bang, bang, 2 quick ones to come out the second half. And he's got 8 with 2 full quarters to go. And for a little bit, it looked like he maybe was going to challenge Thompson's record. But in the end, though, it was a hell of a game. Very entertaining. Terrible defense, but I mean, it was a lot of good shot making too as well. So, but it was kind of funny to me though at one point when the announcer said, the Warriors, and you touched on that, them going small out of necessity. They're like, they don't have anyone taller than 6'7". I was like, it's funny to hear that, no one taller than 6'7". It's like, man, if we had someone 6'7" regular around here, that's a massive human being. But out there, it's just kind of it's small.
I know. It's about 8 inches taller than me. So yeah, that's that's a little bit longer.
You're giving yourself some inches there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, if they're 6'7",
5'11", you're not 5'11".
5'11" and a half. 5'11".
No, you're not.
I am. That's not right.
Okay.
I'm under 6 feet, barely. That's why I could play the 6 foot and under. That's why I could.
I know you're under 6 feet.
All right, go ahead, T. What do you think? What you make of Curry's performance last night? Was it more? I'm kind of curious what your thoughts were of the Mavericks defense. Was it like the one versus where Curry goes crazy against the Thunder about 4 years back? Some of those shots he hit were just over defenders. Was this more of a bad defense, or were these great shots as well?
I mean, it's regular season defense. It wasn't good, but it wasn't. Curry still hitting shots. You're like, holy shit, how is he doing this?
Yeah,
he's Curry. He's so underrated. It's crazy. I rip on him a lot too, but there's times
you're really hard on him. I'd say
I am hard on him, but this guy just when he does things like that, and they were all out of necessity. It was a close game the whole time. They're not getting blown out or blowing him out. So it just made it more impressive, that he needed all these points to keep him in the game.
What do you guys think of his clutchness? I always think of a weird thing with Curry. He's not the clutchest player of all time, but he's not somebody I hate to have the ball either. I like him having the ball, but he's just sometimes because of that lack of athleticism, at times you can kind of defensively manipulate him. At times, it's not easy, but there's at times you can kind of the Raptors were able to do it a few times last year in the finals. So I don't know. What do you guys think of his clutchness? He has been clutch. He just kind of, but doesn't have that I don't know. What do you guys think? Help me.
He's clutch enough to where if he just has a couple big moments, the narrative will change real quick. Like he just hasn't had that big shot in like an NBA Finals game where he has a step back against Delanova, but wasn't that like 10 seconds left?
Yeah. I mean, he just hasn't had that big shot yet. I guess that's probably what it is. Case, do you feel like he's clutch, or is he kind of like? Because he has. I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like he's clutch. I mean, I think there's just a couple defined plays that really kind of set it back, like Kevin Love guarding him one-on-one, at the finals, and basically stymied him and didn't let him get a good look off. And, so I think that one stuck with him. And then the one, the Raptors year where they, had that chance to put it to game 6 or game 7, he, the fadeaway 3 kind of, but I mean, those are difficult shots. So, I mean, he's come up clutch. So I think the narrative on that is kind of BS. It's kind of like,
is it because the finals?
Is
it because of his play in the finals at times?
Yeah, and I think people saying him not getting the MVP award in the finals like 3 times, that's kind of a knock on him. But
I feel like those are the fans that don't actually watch the Warriors play all the time. Don't you?
Yeah, I mean, he could have usually. I mean, what do you want? Durant went off. I mean, Curry still played great. I mean, the year that Iguodala won it, like Curry,
he should have won it that year.
Like, yeah, I mean, Iguodala slowed down LeBron with the triple double. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, averaging like 38, 12, and 10.
I know, crazy. Yeah, I don't know. The Warriors, I still feel like are in trouble though. Like Curry's playing good, and maybe they'll get to maybe they're still in the playoffs when he's playing this well. But I mean, they're big, and Looney is so inconsistent with his injuries, and Wiseman's a rookie. You just figure he's going to get hurt. You know what I mean? Guys, it just seems like they take time, rookies, to build up their bodies, especially big guys for some reason. So I don't know. I'm not loving the Warriors' chances right now. I feel like I could see a little losing streak kind of coming their way, using a lot of energy. And then with no size, eventually, I just feel like that hurts you. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, then we'll move on to a different topic. We feel like the Warriors can kind of steady the ship here a little bit, or do you see them maybe dropping down in the standings, or maybe even moving up in the standings? So, final thoughts on the Warriors heading into this next week, Tyler?
I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. I mean, they play the Spurs the next 2 games. Spurs aren't great, they're not terrible, but they're a good veteran savvy team. DeRozan, Aldridge, Patty Mills. So. I mean, I think they're very winnable games, and Wiseman's supposed to come back, less than a week now, I think. Pascal, I don't really know who's up to date. And then, I don't know. I think they'll be fine. I mean, and then Saturday they play Brooklyn, which I'm guessing they'll probably get massacred, but I don't know.
So what do you think? They go 1-2?
Well, they're the only team this year that hasn't won more than 2 in a row and hasn't lost more than 2 in a row. So they're about a 500 team. That's what they're going to beat up.
A model of mediocrity. I like it. All right, Tyler, what do you think their preview for the week? Just give us what you're looking at.
I just want to I love these little mini series that the NBA are doing, these back to back.
Totally agree.
They should be doing this all the time. I love it.
What do you like about it? What do you think? What element do you like about it? Because in baseball, right, you build up this kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's like you see adjustments every the next game. Okay, they're doing this different. Like they're guarding this a different way, and it's just better for travel and makes more sense for the players to just do it this way.
I feel like it's like a little mini playoff matchup, right? You kind of if you lose the first one, you really want to win the second one. Like you see on it.
Yeah, and you can play back to back, and it's not like, oh, this is so tough.
Like to your point, Tyler, like the Mavericks came out 18-2. Like they're pissed after getting smashed. So I don't know. I
18-2. Jeez. No. Smack you in the face right there. Jeez. That's crazy. 80.
But I think the Warriors will ride the ship.
You think they'll be able to go 1-2 this week or 2-1? 2 Spurs, 1 Nets.
Nah, 1-2. I'll go 1-1 and then lose 1-2. But
all right,
they're going to be around the 6 to 8 seed. Is what I'm looking at.
All right. Let's get into a couple more things from the NBA here. Are we good on the Warriors? We're good there. Okay.
Yeah.
So Brian. Enjoy that Warriors chalk talk. All right. Well, a couple last things here on the NBA. The All-Star game real quick. The players are really throwing around the weight, and I love how they are just like calling BS right now, basically. And I've heard a few, I think even Kawhi yesterday came out and said, we're just doing this for the money, basically. If he's talking, even if it's like 8 words, it's important. LeBron, of course, is doing his complaining. I love the way he just says things like, what did he say? I'll be there physically, but I will not be there mentally. No, you'll be there mentally, dude. Your brain comes with your body. Sorry, that's how it works. That's how it works. He's complaining. I love De'Aaron Fox's thing.
He's the one who started it, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, somebody asked him like, "Hey, would you want to go to the All-Star game or something like that? Or what do you think of the All-Star game?" He's like, "I think it's BS or something like that." And he's like, "Well, would you go if you got invited?" He's like, "Yeah, they throw out a pretty hefty fine for that one." He's like, "If you don't go to that game." So I thought that was a pretty funny answer there. So the NBA, of course, is doing it for money and pleasing Turner Sports. What do you think? You think the players are going to end up getting their wish here? Or do you think Adam Silver kind of gives in and kind of pisses off the sponsors here a little bit? So he's in kind of a tricky situation. He's usually had a perfect approval rating. Now he's starting to get a little heat for the first time as a commissioner. What do you guys think about that? Tyler, I guess I'll let you go.
They're going to play. They're going to play. They've admitted they'll go. So they're not going to say we're not going to. They've already said we'll go. So they're not going to be like, let's cancel the game. They'll go. I mean,
you get your ass on that plane. You would go to Atlanta, Georgia, and you were playing there.
I think it's dumb if they play, but it is. The NBA already came out and said we're more worried about the players who aren't playing in the All-Star game than the players in the All-Star game. So they're like,
they feel safer about that.
Yeah, so they don't. Yeah, they think they're doing the right thing.
Some people are worried about Atlanta and Georgia having some of the best dancing nightlife studios.
Exotic dancing.
I didn't say that.
It is the number one strip club per capita or something. They're like something crazy like that.
We're going to a dangerous market here, people. Come on, we don't want those chicken wings. Chase, what do you think? You think the players they'll end up playing the game, or it kind of looks that way, like Tyler's saying, but I don't know.
I think they should, and I think they're kind of going about this in the wrong way. I think, with the Black Lives Matter and, Hank Aaron passing away, he's from Atlanta. Dr. Martin Luther King, he's from Atlanta. I think you could really kind of make this into something if you really wanted to. It's the home of the birth of, those athletes and people that are revolutionized.
Rights leaders.
Yeah, so I think this would be a perfect time to do that and honor them. And from what I've heard too, is if they decide not to play that All-Star game, they're just going to play the season continuing through. So they won't even get a break because they still got a lot of games to make up due to COVID. So I think they're better off just playing the game, do something good about it, and if not, they're going to make them pay, financially and, just, hey, no days off. You're not going to get that rest. So I think they're just better off just playing the game.
I kind of like how you took a different take there on it. Kind of like a little zig there to our zag. So that was a good thought there on it. Yeah, maybe I didn't think about that. Maybe that would be a good opportunity for those guys to be able to be, like you said, maybe look at it the opposite way. Yeah, there's maybe some risk pandemic wise, but you're getting the honor of playing in the All-Star game. And yeah, maybe you get a chance to honor some of these people if you do it right. So yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I wanted to throw out a question about this different subject to a different one. I've been watching Jokic play a lot this year, and he's been so unreal. And Tyler, we're going to be doing a little our NBA top 30 tomorrow. So anybody that's going to be checking out our podcast later, me and Tyler have that one maybe coming out in a few weeks. But Case, I wanted to get your thoughts on this too. Is Jokic and Greek Freak? I feel like, obviously the Greek Freak is a 2-time MVP. Jokic is starting to, I feel like, turn the corner a little bit to maybe another level. I think we talked about that Case the other day when through text message. What do you guys think? Who would you take right now at this point? Not what he had before, like right now, moving forward. Whose game do you like more, Jokic or Greek Freak? Case, I'll get you first.
If we're going right now, I would take Jokic.
Yeah, moving forward.
Yeah, you get them for 10 years.
Like, how do you think they're going to develop and all that?
I still would take Jokic. I mean, I love Giannis. I love the way he plays the game, but at the same time, he's shown little progress in his shooting, but man, like I just see him like at the elbow and they're giving him like 3 feet from like 14 feet away and he won't pull the J. And I'm like, dude, you gotta take that shot or at least learn to develop it. But I mean, Jokic to me is just all around he's a beast, man. I think he's a better rebounder. Defensively, definitely not even close to Giannis, but offensively skilled, I think it's not even close. That I think Jokic is way better, and his passing is just incredible. Like they said, I think as starting center, he's got 4 games with 15 assists or more. Just like that's insane.
And his touch passes are great, man. They're just unreal. I just love his little
floor, like he sees the floor like a point guard. But the thing he can do that Giannis can't do, he can actually shoot.
Yeah, he's got more touch.
And you can go to him at the end of the game where he's not a free throw liability and he can actually shoot outside.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you on all those points, especially the free throw liability. Tyler, kind of who do you got for the next 10 years? I know me and you will have our podcast. I mean, you're going to get deep into it, top 30 a little bit, but what do you got here on this one?
I got Giannis. Jokic is having a better year, but I just think Giannis, you look at their win percentages throughout their career and going like even this year, the Bucks are still a better team. They win more. I don't like the way that Giannis is used. I think he could be used in a more effective way. And like, so that part of it, I don't like, but if I could change that going forward, I think I'd take Giannis. Jokic is a beast. They're right back to back in my rankings.
Well, I'm interested to see where you have them come tomorrow night.
But yeah, I'll be honest.
Yeah, be honest. All right, I want to bring a couple of points about both. Giannis, I think the thing with Jokic that makes him so special, and I don't know if we've ever seen a player like him, is like you said, Case, is his ability to pass, play in the post, shoot the three, and then just excel with that ability to also dribble as a big man from the 3-point line to the basket. I mean, he has you don't have very many people that are his size to do all 4 of those things so smoothly. But with like his body structure as well, you know what I mean? That passing's key. There's guys that can go from the 3-point line to there, but in the midst of all that, at his size, he's able to like pass at like a point guard, which makes it he can pass over the top, which is as you know, it's 3-point shooters, which is nice when you just have to stand there and wait for a pass to come at you. The thing with Giannis, I think you guys have heard me say this more than enough if you listen to our podcast at all, is he needs to be in the post. They need to use him more, and I credit Bill Simmons for this one. I totally agree with it. They need to use him more like a Shaq. Like keep him lower. Like imagine if you went Holiday and Middleton with pick and roll more, and used him as the third guy down there. I mean, what's the defense going to do when you get into that situation when you have if you get the ball Giannis anywhere within 8 feet? I just feel like he's much more dangerous than. As a defense, I'm happy with him 25 feet away from the hoop. I don't care if he shoots. You guys both mentioned he's not very good at it. So what would be, Case, I want to throw this out to you before we move on. Last basketball subject here with Giannis. What if he spent that time? Everybody said, oh, he needed to develop a shot. Well, his shot's still not that great, right? To the point where we don't want him, where we want him to shoot. What if he spent that time in the post? Worked on his footwork. He'd be way more dangerous than him being an below average 3-point shooter and not having any go-to end of the game moves. It's frustrating to watch him.
Yeah, I mean, when I see him get that running start, I'm like, either one of 3 things are going to happen. 1 is going to be a charge, which is almost inevitable. 2, he's going to the free throw line and he's going to split them at best. And then 3 is he gets a dunk. So, I mean, there's no pull-up. There's no I don't know. His best weapon is almost missing his first shot and getting his offensive rebound and dunking it in. So it's a
coach's thing, I guess, too, right?
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, it's got to be at this point. I mean, he's doing the same thing. I mean, yeah, he's athletically getting stronger and better, and his shots come a long way. Don't get me wrong, from where he was.
But you could make the same argument about LeBron at this age. He didn't have a defining move. He couldn't shoot.
I agree.
Everyone was going under every screen.
I guess I feel like with the Bucks, they could have maybe helped that earlier. I
agree with they should move him, but I'm just saying, he still can become a decent enough shooter. LeBron's a great shooter now. It's crazy.
The thing with him that worries me is he never really, like, even with LeBron, he wasn't a great shooter, but I always felt like he was more of he could shoot a little bit better. We'll see, a little bit better than Giannis. Giannis's touch is what worries me around I don't know. There's something around. He just doesn't have like that natural looking shot to me at all. But you're right. LeBron
I just
don't
think. I don't think Giannis has the capability of doing like what LeBron did against like the Pistons, like, the 29 points out of 30, like, because those weren't all. Those weren't.
Yeah.
No, I mean those plays, they weren't all to the basket.
Yeah.
He was hitting
for sure.
threes and jumpers at that point.
Elbow jumpers. Yeah.
I don't know. To me, I don't see Giannis having that capability of being able to do that, even as his career progresses.
Yeah, I'm with you on that case a little bit. You're right. He doesn't have that touch or that elbow jumper and those things like that. I just wish they would just put him right on the block. He's the most athletic freak in the NBA. Just put him there. I mean, like, how is the man not going to get double teamed? Just give him the ball, like throw it to him, like. Post up, dude. Like, I mean, if I was a coach, I don't know how, but like, what is it, Budenholzer? What does it? Help me. I mess up all the names. Help me, fellas.
Budenholzer,
yeah. Budenholzer. It messes up all the time on that. Man, unreal. All right, anything else NBA you wanted to get into, gentlemen?
I just love Jacoby's.
So who are you taking 10 years from now or now for you?
I want to take Giannis if we get him in the post, but right now I'm taking Jokic right now. So I'm saying for the next 10 years, that's who I'm taking. I just feel like he knows his game a little bit more, and he's got more like end of the game moves right now. I don't know if I didn't, so that's what I'm going with. Anything else you guys got NBA wise? Casey, that's something there?
I was just gonna say I love Jacoby's nickname for Jokic. He calls him the stretch mark 4.
Jacoby who? Jacoby Ford?
Jalen and Jacoby.
Jalen and Jacoby.
Stretch mark 4 is one of the best nicknames for. I love that.
Stretch mark 4. T, you got anything on NBA?
No. Out of what?
No. On the NBA.
No.
Good there. All right. Well, we'll be back just to wrap it up with their final segment in the baseball. All right, we're back. Final segment. You know it. Major League Baseball, Fatboy FadeAway Sports Podcast. You know I can't get away without talking a little baseball with you guys. Even though it's Super Bowl Sunday, a little baseball action around here. Me and Case, we went crazy last week on the A's, the ownership. It got Jose Canseco maybe to follow us. Maybe he listened to that. Maybe he saw my tweet with cancel John Fisher. And that's what got us. Why
slurped it up.
Yeah, he did get knocked out in 10 seconds by a 22-year-old intern, but that's the way life goes sometimes. So I guess he can go back to his car wash in Las Vegas. Poor Jose. But thank you for the follow on Twitter, Jose. We appreciate that. And I think Tyler mentioned it on Twitter as well. We would love to have you on. We could talk. We could talk whatever you want. We could talk. I know you hate A-Rod. This would be a perfect place for you to vent that anger, and maybe we could get some advice for you, or get some advice. We can get some advice from you, and learn some of your stories. So, anyways, thanks for the follow there, Jose, as well.
You wrote the most important book in baseball history. Congratulations.
That is true. He says 10 now. He wishes he didn't write that book.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's because of just how many
he ran out of money from the book.
No, I think
you burn all those bridges.
People, yeah.
He never had any bridges; they were already burnt.
Well, that was the final blow. That was the final blow.
I think he got rid of everyone. Everyone jumped the boat on that one.
What I mean is, you get out of they don't even want him back in stadiums really, or he does go to the A's game still, but nobody really wants him involved in any of these things, and he's kind of a loose cannon anyways.
Yeah, so who do you think was inviting him back? He was already stained.
Yeah,
no, he was stained a little bit before, but
not a little bit.
Isn't it weird though to you guys that all those guys from that era, you rarely see him at ballparks? Rarely.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess McGuire's a coach.
Bonds is like a lunar eclipse. Once in a blue moon, you'll see him. It's just rare.
Yeah, baseball wants you to forget this, huh?
It took him forever to even like welcome him back almost. It's weird. I don't know. It's like everyone just wants to forget about it. Like it never happened.
Every time he shows up at AT&T, he gets a standing ovation.
Oh, and he should.
I know, but I don't. He's always been welcome. No one's ever been like, "No, we don't want you here." It's his decision not to come around.
And Canseco and McGuire always get big reactions when they come back to the Ace Stadium. When they came, well, McGuire hadn't been back for a while, but he came back last year for the first time. Remember that, Casey? He got a big ovation. So, I mean, I think it's kind of what we said before. If whatever team they've played for, they're going to love the most there. But Jose, again, the book, Tyler mentioned it. Great book. We'd love to have you on. Thanks for the follow there. It's funny though that that he followed us just from the fact that like we grew up kind of like right in the prime era. He was like this like mystical or like kind of magical character at that point, right? Like 92. He was like in his
Superman.
Prime. Yeah, everybody's
the
talking
first
about
40-40 guy.
Exactly. There's just like this clip of him on the Yankees. I don't even remember him playing on the Yankees when he's 98. It's like his first at bat with the Yankees, and the announcer as he's doing, he's like, "Look at this guy. He look how big he is. He's just this muscular freak. He looks like a surf guy, and he just hits an absolute bomb and is like, I mean, like just looks like this big. Yeah,
my favorite home run easily he hit was in the Sky Dome in Toronto.
Oh, that Blue Jays one, absolutely a bomb, dude, unreal.
Look that up.
People forget he hit 40 with the Rays.
He hit 40 home runs with the Rays.
I think so.
My
like
gosh.
2002 or like 2000.
He says he still does steroids now. He says he still does steroids now. That's what I heard on the Big
look
Cat.
at him.
The Big Cat interview. That was a weird interview he did on that show. All right, I don't know where the hell we went with this baseball segment, but let's get back on track here. Thank you, Jose, on that part. Two quick things and we'll get out of here. A's trade. Last week I was hard on the A's, like we said. They get Elvis Andrews from the Rangers, replace Simeon at shortstop. They trade away Chris Davis. We don't have to see those strikeouts anymore, hopefully, Casey, for a while. Thank you, Chris Davis, for your 40 home run seasons, your 247 average. He did play well in the postseason this year, but I'm not going to miss the strikeouts, that's for sure.
It was like Ben Grieve 2.0.
Ben Grieve 2.0, but much worse.
Two worst arms in the NFL and the MLB.
Oh gosh, because you're better than NFL quarterbacks that be picked up.
Imagine if it was those two and Coco in the outfield, the arms you'd have out there.
Oh no, but they both could rock unreal throws, and that was something that I am going to miss. They both had unreal throw games. Who has the best white throw? Like, is there a white guy that has a good throw that sticks out to you? By the way, that's random.
Brian Scalabrine.
Brian Scalabrine. I mean, I know everybody goes with Bob, the artist guy. He always has one.
Yeah.
Wasn't the painter Bob or something like that?
I don't know his name.
Don Sutton.
Don Sutton. All right. Didn't James Walsh's brother have a throw? Did that guy have a throw? No, I think it was
Morgan.
No,
not Morgan.
I thought he had a throw. No, he didn't. All right. All right, so that's the A's little update there for the week. Tyler, the real thing I want to ask you about is Trevor Bauer. No, we don't. If you're not a hardcore baseball fan, Trevor Bauer is considered, as right now, the third best pitcher or fourth best pitcher in Major League Baseball. You can agree or disagree with that. I think he's more around 6. But anyways, he gets $40 million this year from the Dodgers. He gets a 3-year deal, I think, maybe a 4-year deal overall.
2 option
years, 102 or something like that.
Basically, the Dodgers have like a higher payroll, like one player basically than the A's have in their whole team.
God.
So, what do you think about that? At Mateo 49's telling you to believe in the farm system here, believe in Farhan, believe in the system, Tyler.
Be patient. Be patient. He tells me.
I like it. You on Twitter were saying that the team has been horrible since 2016. You sound a little frustrated as well with their not spending ability.
They're not doing anything.
And the Dodgers just load up again, buddy. What do you think?
We signed Tommy LaStella. They signed Trevor Bauer. It seems like I should just be happy with how this is working out. I don't get it. I don't get the patient. Like, you're the Giants. You own your stadium. You're paying no down payment, no more rent or anything mortgage on your stadium. Yeah, you're not getting anyone in there at this point, but all those years of just selling out every game, all the merch and stuff, they're getting loaded. They have to be making some of the most money in MLB.
I would think
so. They know nothing. They signed Tommy LaStella or trade for whatever they did to get him.
Tommy Listell. I love it.
Trust the process, Tyler. Farhan, he's got to play it.
And that's what Mateo 49 is trying to tell him, to relax a little bit there. This is the thing I will say with Mateo 49 is this. Think about the Cubs. Once you load up that farm system and your team becomes good, then you can spend all that money and your team's going to be even more unreal.
When have the Giants ever drafted good? They did for like 4 years. They got Lincecum, Bumgarner, Kane, and Posey.
He says there's a shortstop that's unreal, right?
They got lucky. 1 in a million. How many times how often do you sign these Dominicans and they turn out to be nothing? Like a lot of them are good.
And they got Joey Bart.
He's terrible.
He looked like a stud last year. He struck out every at bat.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's awful.
Like he was like, don't trade him for Francisco Lindor. I'm like, you're an idiot. Why would we not want Francisco Lindor? We have a shortstop in the farm system. What do you mean? I don't want the farm system. We want the farm system. I want Lindor at shortstop in AT&T this year.
And you have Dubon. So you got some young guys there. Dubon. So anyways, the Dodgers load up there again. I just wanted to get your reaction there on the Giants. I know you're frustrated with it as well. They got basically and Bueller, so they're loaded.
When they signed Trevor Bauer, did you feel like Trevor Bauer just want to throw the ball out of the stadium?
Yeah, I was like, I thought he was going to the Mets. What the hell is going on? Come on. They get Betts and Bauer in back-to-back years. We have Patricio Dubon and Tommy Listella. Yay, Giants.
I love that. That might be one of my favorite baseball clips when they go to pull him out and he just chucks it over center field wall.
And then Terry Franklin, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing right there? Yeah, that's a great moment. There's some good baseball moments there on YouTube, man. If you just enjoy, like, there's like some just hidden gems. There's so much downtime and like there's just so many plays that happen that you don't even notice. Like there's just so many funny stuff.
Steve Lyons getting rid of his pants.
Yeah, there's just like so many. Yeah, exactly. Who the heck does that? Like
the Frank Robinson stare off with the
Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Like there's
Classic.
A lot of random ones like that. Or I like the Josh Donaldson one last year where he hits the home run and crosses home plate and gets ejected. And they got it mic'd up and he's like, "You're real big there, Donaldson. Real big." Real. The umpire's like, "Yeah." And he goes off on it. That was a good one. And then I love the Aaron Boone one. Hot Mike. Aaron Boone's a good one. When he gets ejected.
The best though are Bobby Cox and Lou Piniella.
Oh, Bobby Cox. Yes, he was one of the best.
The minor league ones.
The minor league ones. Those are some good ones. I felt like Bobby was getting ejected at least once a week. I felt like, that was I felt like that was happening. Especially towards the end, he had a good broiler. His belly was a good one. He had one of those like good bellies, and you know what I mean, where he'd run out and you just knew he was getting tossed. There's no way he was going to be able to run back. He was getting tossed like that one. Don't you remember him, Tyler, getting ejected like every week?
Oh
basically?
Yeah. every week on TBS. The Bobby Cox show for an inning.
That was funny. All right, so that's our Bull baseball there for a segment for the week. You guys got anything else? No, that's it.
Good.
Super Bowl.
I like the end zone, but who are the chefs?
Who are the chefs? Subscribe, please follow us at Twitter, Fatboy FadeAway. We're up to 197, boys. We're almost up to 200 there on the show, Tyler. I see you're chugging along there. You're up to 60, it looks like, on your Twitter account there. So 62. Follow Tyler along. Casey, I think you're almost up to 10 there. So keep chugging along there as well. Remember that profile pic will help. I know you're not that ugly. You can put it up there.
Had to get a haircut.
You're not going to scare him. But yeah, so follow us on Twitter, YouTube. That's a little bit of a longer one this week, but appreciate anybody that listens even for 10, 15 minutes. Check out some of the other podcasts as well. There's House of Hoops. They listen to our podcast. I know once in a while. I know they're big Grizzly fans, so I always like getting their take on stuff. I know you guys probably haven't checked it out, but if you should, it's pretty good. These guys do a good job. They're not big baseball fans, but it's funny when they try to talk about it. They were talking about
sounds like you're ripping. Oh my God.
No, but my point is, it's funny because like they admit that they don't watch it very much. That's what kind of makes it funny. They're like, "Oh, who's the manager? Ruku Bodelli?" And I was like, in my head, I started laughing. So yeah, give those guys a chance. Also the guy at I Don't Know, and I also like the one Let's Be Real podcast. Also do a good job as well. So, all right, guys. Tyler, I'll see you tomorrow night for our NBA one. Case, maybe we'll try to get Brian and Adam on here for a post game one, and we can maybe get our first guest on here for a podcast. So that'd be fun.
Yep.
All right, guys. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll talk next week. Later.
All right,
See ya.
later.
Bye.
Peace.